Hello and welcome to MINYIP. I'm your host, Blake, and I'm joined by Clinton for our FPL Game Week 13 preview show. How are you, Clinton?
I'm good, Blake. I'm back. I'm predicting scores. My bold predictions are coming through. I scored well. I'm back.
You definitely are.
Yeah.
Your bold predictions, we'll touch on that shortly, but you did quite well. I did question you during the week because I don't think you went bold enough with some of them, but we'll go through that and see how you justify it. So we'll get straight into it with the results from last week, Clinton. So we'll go through what our predictions were and what our bold predictions were for each game, see if they came through, and we'll tally up how many points we're on after doing our bold predictions and score predictions. So first game...
We're doing this first or our own scores? You tell me what we're doing.
Let's go... I'll read out all the...
Yeah, okay.
I'll read out all the results and then we'll go through how our predictions went. How about
that? I'm sure everyone's just can't wait to hear how your wild card went and etc. But
yeah,
whichever order you want to play.
We'll go through it very quickly. Game one, Leicester 0, Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 2, Brighton 0, Burnley 3, Crystal Palace 3, Newcastle 3, Brentford 3, high scoring matches, those ones. Norwich 2, Southampton 1, Watford 4, Man United 1, Wolves 1, West Ham 0, Liverpool 4, Arsenal 0, Man City 3, Everton 0, Spurs 2, Leeds 1. To be honest with you, Clinton, I didn't get a single score correct out of those matches or a single bold prediction. I don't think I even remotely got close. I was pretty hopeful that Aston Villa and Brighton were going to have a 0-0 draw, and that was going to be my only bold prediction to be right for having no score for the round. But then Aston Villa chucked on some late goals, which gave you your bold prediction correct. So do you want to touch on which games you got score correctly and the bold predictions?
Sure. Well, I got, yes, I did pick Chelsea to defeat Leicester 3-0. I got Villa to beat Brighton 2-0, and surprisingly did select Norwich to defeat Southampton 2-1. I was close on a couple others. I think I was one off on a couple, but so I got three correct there. And a couple of my bold predictions were close but didn't quite come off. One was I did select Cornet and Gallagher to score, and Gallagher assisted Cornet scored, so I was close there.
Yeah.
Also, my other one, which was close, I did say that Cancelo would get a clean sheet and score a goal. He didn't do that, but he did get an assist and get bonus points. That was a couple of the close ones. And, I did pick the fact that Aston Villa would win with a clean sheet, which at the time was a bit of a bold prediction, I thought, because Brighton were high on the ladder, on the table, I should say, and Aston Villa had been pretty poor defensively recently, so that was pretty bold, I thought, Blake. So that's a tick for me. And then the other one was Livramento his owners to realise that he's a bench option, and that proved to be the case. And I did say that Norwich would win and score at least 2 goals, so I was pretty happy with that one.
So you got your Norwich prediction correctly and the Villa game, is that right? For your bold predictions?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so you got three games is score correct and 2 bold predictions. So you're on 5 points after the opening round of us doing that. So that was good. We'll look forward to reading through our predictions again for the upcoming game week. But first, we'll go through how we went last game week. I was on my wild card and overall very happy with our win. I scored 89 points to get the most points for our league, Clinton.
Wow.
Had Guaita in goal, scored 3, Cancelo 12, Chilwell 9, Alexander-Arnold 15, Reece James 12, Tsimikas with the Robertson injury. I put Tsimikas on, who got 6, Gallagher 5, Son 2, Salah 8, Cornet 7, and Ronaldo as my captain scored 10. If I had a captain Salah like everyone else, I would have even banked another 5 points. And if I had to put Foster on instead of Guaita, another couple of points. But yeah, there's a few ifs there. But overall, very happy with how my wild card turned out for game week 12 and 89 points. Very, very happy. It's left me with a few difficulties this week with a Chilwell injury in the Champions League overnight. We're recording on Wednesday night this week, Clinton. So, yeah, Chilwell's picked up an injury, so it'll be interesting of what managers will do with him after he's scored so well. But my backline, my defense held up very well, scoring a lot of points for me. Yeah, very happy. How'd you go, Clint?
So I scored 82, not quite as good as you. Melier in goals, been disappointing. He scored 1. Trent 15, Rudiger 14, Cancelo 12, and James 12. Salah was my captain, who scored 16, and Bomo disappointing 2, Gallagher 5. My forward line was Huang 2, Broha 1, and Antonio 2. Steers on my bench. The reason that Broha and Huang were on my team, my starting 11, was because Diaz got rested, 0, and KDB, who obviously was announced that he had COVID prior to the deadline, but I decided to keep him so I could have 2 free transfers this week, and Sissoko too. So, yeah, overall, very happy with my score. And, yeah, in another world, I had those 2 Man City players on field instead of those bench options, and I would have scored a lot more. But, yeah, I've got 2 free transfers. I'm excited to see what I could do with my team this week.
Just quickly, did you say Diaz got rested or arrested?
No, it's not Mendy. His teammate who did get arrested, but he did get he got rested. And
okay, thank you.
I'm hoping he can now that there's lots of fixtures coming up, he can stay in that team. So yeah, it's been just interesting. We'll get to it later about Chilwell news, but yeah, I was happy with my score, and yeah, in some way, yeah, the Diaz rest. Might have cost me quite a few points, obviously, because yeah, I've got Braha from the bench, and as just mentioning KDB again, I could have traded him to transferred him to the likes of Son prior to the start, but I there's none that I really wanted, and I thought Huang was an okay option coming from my bench. That's why I kept KDB just for now as a placeholder, because now I'm going to use that for cash elsewhere.
And you've moved up the rankings quite well there, Clinton, just over 2.3 mil.
Flying up the rankings, Blake. I'm 2.3 million now, so I've moved up 1.3 million spots the last 2 game weeks. So small steps, week by week. I'll slowly, hopefully, see lots of green arrows in a row.
No, very well done. I'm ranked just over 500,000 now. I moved up about 400,000 placings as well. So very happy with that. Our league, so Scott's still on top, but he sent me a message after this game week. Clinton is getting a bit nervous because your mate David, he's absolutely flying at the moment. He scored 83 points. He's now in second place. He's chasing Scott down. Andrew's in third. Dem, like always, is in fourth, and Paul is in fifth. You've been giving David some advice, Clinton, or?
Probably vice versa, but no, he, as I said recently, he's got a really strong defense, and that's where all the points have been coming through recently. And yeah, so he knows his stuff, and yeah, he's on a bit of a roll. But hopefully, as I said it last week, he's the one I'm trying to chase, but it's going to be difficult.
It's going to be very difficult if he keeps putting up big scores like that. Okay. It's your favourite time of the week again, Clinton. We're back at doing the bold predictions and our score predictions for this game week. Just like last game week, we haven't heard each other's predictions yet, so it's a surprise to both of us. How would you like to approach doing it. Clinton, are you happy to go first this week?
Yes, we'll do it game by game, and I'll go with my predictions first. And I think next time we do this show, Blake, I think we should recap game by game what our predictions were, because I think I would have loved to just go through your predictions again from last week. So I think we missed a trick there, because I would have loved to go game by game and just recapping how those predictions went of yours. And yeah, I'll let you get away with that, because
I'll give you some of your favourites. Pookie to have 6 shots for no goal, but he did score a goal. Ronaldo to score 5 goals. That was a that was a good one. Zaha to get red carded. Wilson and Tony both to go off injured. Dallas to score an own goal from Leeds to give Spurs an own goal. So that's some of your favourites there.
Was he involved in a goal? No, what happened was, when I first checked the results of that game, I actually saw that in my phone it had Dallas's best on the pitch. And I assumed, without checking who had scored, I actually assumed that he'd scored for Leeds, but he didn't. Anyway, game week 13, here we go. So first up, we've got Arsenal versus Newcastle. My bold prediction is that Lacazette, who has been on the bench for a lot of this year, I've got him to score at least 10 fantasy points. And my prediction is that Arsenal will win 3-0.
3-0, very good. My bold prediction, quite a similar line to yours. I've got Smith Rowe to score 10 plus FPL points. And my score, I've got Arsenal 3-1 to Newcastle.
Not bad. It's pretty safe, Smith Rowe. But anyway, I'll on to the next game. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. My bold prediction is that Watkins will score at least 10 fantasy points, and he'll start putting his hand up as more of the forward option that people are transferring a lot of funds away from their forward line. But I think he might be the one that, especially from Antonio, people might start transferring Watkins in the next couple of weeks. And my game prediction is that it'll end up 2-2.
I reckon Smith Rowe was safe, but you're going into Watkins after seeing what he did last week. All right, Watkins.
Yeah, fair call.
Sorry, what was your score there, Clinton?
2-2.
2-2, very good. I've got all the goals that are scored by Aston Villa will be scored by defenders. So whether it's 1 or 3, they'll be scored by the defenders. And my score, I've got Villa to win 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Okay, not bad. Next game, Liverpool Southampton. Obviously, you've already mentioned we're halfway through the Champions League game, so there's a Chilwell injury last night or this morning to Chelsea. So Liverpool haven't played yet, and who knows what team they'll pick. But my prediction is Sadio Mane to score at least 14 fantasy points.
Yep.
And my score prediction is 5-0, obviously, to Liverpool.
I'll give you a spoiler already, because that's my score prediction as well. I've got Liverpool 5-0. Mane, how many points? 14.
I said 14. I think that's bold.
It's pretty bold. He is the 5th highest scoring player in the league overall and scored 12 last week. But that's all right. That's pretty bold.
How many times he scored 14 points this year?
That will be 0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 5-0 for Liverpool. And I've got Trent to be involved in every goal.
Wow. So you might have to put the C on him then.
It's going to be a big game.
Very good. Norwich Wolves. My bold prediction, is that Pookie and Huang will both score goals. And Wolves will win 2-1. If you can't tell, I'm basing a lot of these bold predictions on coming through for my teams. So
I'm well aware of that. Yeah.
You are? Okay, good.
Quite similar to you, I've got Huang and Jimenez to both score a goal.
Okay.
And I've got Wolves to win 3-1 to Norwich.
Yep. Good prediction. Okay. Brighton Leeds. Similar to you last week with one of your bold predictions, I'll guess that this will be the only game with no goals. So last week that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And there was lots of goals. This weekend, I'm predicting 0-0 this game.
So your bold prediction is that this is the only game to not score a goal, or just this
Correct.
game? Okay. Just copying my predictions now. Week.
Yeah, maybe. But
Okay.
I'll get this one correct though.
That's all right. I have got. Where is it? I've got Dallas to score a goal this week for his own team.
Oh, for his team, for Leeds.
For his own team, yeah. And I will go Leeds to win 2-1 to Brighton.
Okay, very good. Brentford Everton. This is the game. So there's going to be so many people that sell Mbomo. He's been disappointing the last month. A lot of people jumped on. They've had good fixtures. He's hit the post a million times. But this is the game he'll score at least 10 fantasy points. And Brentford will win 2-0.
Yeah, he's been quite unlucky in some respect, and the managers that do own him have been quite unlucky with the chances he's been able to produce. So I don't mind that prediction from you. I've got Townsend, who I was looking at the start of the season, and you talked me out of. I've got him to score a goal from a free kick.
Okay.
And it'll be a 1-1 draw versus Brentford.
Very specific with the free kick part. Imagine if he just scores a goal in open play. That'd be bad luck.
No, he's a set piece specialist.
Burnley Spurs. My bold prediction.
Here we go.
I want to tick of approval, but Kane and Son blanking, and score is 1-1. So similar to just basically on my team, I think those big hitters, which a lot of people have now, they'll both blank and the score will be 1-1.
I'd be very surprised if that happens. That's why
it's a bold prediction.
Who else is going to score the goals for Spurs?
Before you just predicted a team to score several goals and all. You're having a go at me for saying that Spurs will score one goal and they won't be involved. It's not that unrealistic.
Okay. I've got Son to be involved in all of Spurs' goals.
Yeah, so 1, yeah.
And the score will be 3-0 in Spurs' favour versus Burnley.
Okay. Not bad. Leicester, Watford. Now, once again, I'm sort of looking at my team. Sissoko is a player that has sat on my bench now for a long time. His highest score all season is 2 points.
Is it really?
So he has had a couple of occasional shots on goal. So my bold prediction is that he'll score at least 3 fantasy points. Is that allowed to be a bold prediction?
That's allowed to be a bold prediction. I'm looking at his scores.
His highest score is 2.
That is ridiculous.
He's played ever since he went to Watford from Tottenham.
The last 9 games, 8 of them, he scored 2.
Exactly. So my bold prediction,
I'll allow it. Yeah.
he's sitting third on my bench. My bold prediction is that he'll score at least 3. So that could be just a clean sheet, and that'll do. But my bold prediction. So yeah, that was that, and my score is 1-1.
Very good. My bold prediction is that Vardy will bounce back after having a few bad weeks, and he'll score 2 goals. Is that acceptable after the form he's in?
Yeah, I'll give you that. At least 2. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Has to be goals. Yep, not assists. 2 goals.
2 goals, and Leicester win 3-0. They'll bounce back. They'll bounce back this game week, Leicester.
Yeah, well, they haven't been in great form. I'll just say I did predict 1-1, so that would mean Sissoko would have to get an attacking return, by the way. Man City, West Ham, once again, we have to wait and see what happens with Man City tomorrow morning. My bold prediction, Diaz, and a bit similar to, I guess, Mbomo. A lot of people are selling Mbomo. Diaz has already been sold by quite a few managers, probably to Chilwell. My bold prediction is that Diaz will get an attacking return. Will you allow that?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I think he might have. I think throughout this year he's only had 1. I think from memory. You might have to double check that. But my score prediction is 3-0. I'll have a look at my phone as you read through yours.
Thank you. If I allow that, you'll have to allow mine. I've got Man City. Okay. Man City to concede 2 goals. Is my bold prediction.
Yeah, that's pretty bold. I'll give you that.
Thank you. They've been very solid in defense, and I've got the score to be 3-2 in Man City's favour. Yeah, 3-2.
I'm pretty sure looking from what I've seen, Diaz has got 1 assist all year, so I think that's pretty bold. Okay, last one. Chelsea, Man United. I'm not sure if you'll allow this one. I just said Diaz. I'm going to go for Rudiger to get another attacking return.
No way.
What?
Can't have that.
He's had 2 all year.
No, I'm not allowing that. Go bold up.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that. Let me say.
Do you want me to go first? Do you want to think about it?
No.
All right.
How's this for bold? Rudiger for 2 attacking returns. That's bold.
That's bold. Yeah, I'll definitely allow that.
All right. That'll skyrocket my ranking. Yep, that's what I'm going for.
And your
3-0. 3-0 Chelsea.
Who's the manager of Man United, by the
way? One of the assistants, one of the ex-players there.
Okay, yeah. It's just a temporary coach manager.
So whatever Ollie's had in place, it's pretty much all his assistants. So there's not going to be a lot of change, I assume.
Well, my bold prediction is that Man United's going to win.
Wow. Extraordinary.
And I've got the score as being 2-1.
No, I'll give you that because I cannot see that happening.
Ronaldo.
In fact, I'd almost go. My score prediction is far too short. I think Chelsea will score probably more than 3 goals.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But
Harry Maguire is out, suspended.
That's a benefit for Man United.
That's probably true. And Lukaku is probably going to come in fresh and want to score against his old team. So many factors are pointing into a big Chelsea win. But yep,
and I'll give you that. That's what makes my prediction so bold.
Excellent.
Very good. I'm glad we got through that.
And as I said, so I can laugh about it, next week we'll go through game by game so we can just remember how far off we were or how close.
That's a good idea. I was probably not as bold this week as last week.
No, definitely not.
Ronaldo's not going to score 5 goals, or Tony and Wilson aren't going to get injured. But all right, let's go through my team for this week. So I currently have the issue of Chilwell in my defense after that knee injury. I'm pretty sure he won't be playing, but we'll see how we go closer to the game against Man United. I expect I'll be transferring him out. Haven't quite nailed down who I'm going to transfer him to yet. I'm thinking Reguilon for Tottenham at the moment, Clinton. I was very tempted to get him last week, but I thought Chilwell was obviously a better option. So I'm very tempted to go to Chilwell. From Chilwell to Reguilon, or just go to Rudiger, which I'm very tempted to do as well after seeing what he did last game week. My original plan this game week was to go Ronaldo to Harry Kane, with Tottenham having the good fixtures. But I've had a look at the fixtures again, and after the next 2 game weeks, Ronaldo's fixtures just open right up. They've probably got one of the best fixture runs of the season, just about. They've got Crystal Palace, Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, Wolves, Aston Villa, and then West Ham. So they've got a great run of fixtures coming into game week 15 onwards. So predicting, I'm just going to hold on to Ronaldo for the next 2 game weeks and hope he still gets an attacking return. They're still going to play the ball through him, even versus Chelsea and Arsenal. So I'm going to hold on to him and probably just make the one transfer of Chilwell to Rudiger or Reguilon, Clinton.
It's not bad. What about the Simicast issue?
I'm hoping Robertson doesn't play again, is the current plan.
Ever or just this week?
That'll be a problem for other game weeks. I'm hoping Robertson doesn't play this upcoming game week and he'll miss another week. And if Simicast is benched for Robertson, I'm hoping Simicast doesn't play any minutes, so Basuma will come on, who's got a good fixture against Leeds. So,
okay.
Yeah. So,
what I'll say one more thing. You obviously mentioned Rudiger and Reguilon. What about Chilwell's replacement, Marcus Alonso?
Not a bad option, but I just don't trust that he'll play. It's good.
Why?
Just because he hasn't played any minutes for the last 6 game weeks.
Do you know who's played in his place?
That would be Ben Chilwell, is it, Clinton?
I think we'll probably the next 48 hours discover that Chilwell's pretty severely hurt. That's my guess.
Yeah.
And Alonso will be a very, very, very popular transfer in. So if I was in your shoes, I'd be leaning towards that option rather than Rudiger, who's about 0.3 or 0.4 more expensive, and Alonso, you'd imagine, will pretty much replace Chilwell in that exact role and get forward and get involved like he did in the first 4 or 5 game weeks. So,
what about Azpilicueta? Is he a chance of taking that role as well?
No, different side of the pitch. So
okay.
So pretty much all season's been Alonso or Chilwell in that spot. So. That's just one to consider. And as I said, don't be surprised to see him talked about a lot the next 48 hours. But otherwise, your team's looking very solid, Blake.
Yeah, I'll just quickly run through the team. So Guaida's got a good home fixture versus Aston Villa. Man City's versus West Ham United at home. So got Cancelo. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Simicast, Gallagher, Son, Salah, Cornet, and Cristiano Ronaldo on my starting pitch.
Excellent. Okay, my team. I have been for the last prior to this morning with the Champions League, I was really just weighing up how to get Ben Chilwell in my team. And the thought process went through my mind is I'd sort of want Chilwell to get injured in Champions League. So the thought went through my head that just so I don't have to worry about it. That thought went through my head, and believe it or not, he did get injured, and he's injured pretty badly, it seems. So I've sort of been blessed with that because I was probably considering taking out Diaz for Chilwell, and which would have tripled me up in a Chelsea backline for this week at least. But now I don't think I need to worry about that for now because, as I said, Alonso is going to become an option. So my first main transfer is obviously getting rid of KDB. And all week I've had it locked in my mind that I'm going to bring in Sadio Mane. So that's a big differential. Obviously, a lot of people have got expensive backline now, have Salah. A lot of people have either Ronaldo, Kane up front. So no one can really afford Mane, but I'm going to really take a bit of a risk there and get him in over the next month prior to both he and Salah going away for a few weeks. But Liverpool's fixtures are amazing. And yeah, I'm sort of just banking on the fact that everyone's choosing Jota over Mane. But despite the price difference, I think Mane's got the capability to really get some big hauls the next month. So I'm pretty much going straight from KDB to Sadio Mane. I'm really hoping, as I said in my prediction, with my Mane 14 plus, I'm hoping he can have a big score this week. As I said, I've got 2 transfers. That's one that's locked in my mind already. Obviously, providing the fact that tomorrow morning there's Champions League, I am hoping they're locked in at top of their group. So I'm hoping they get a rest. I'm hoping Salah, Mane, Trent. I hope they all get a rest. So fingers crossed for that. The other transfer which I'm weighing up, so looking at my team, I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, I could bank a transfer. A month ago, I brought in Melier when I should have brought in Ramsdale, but I still have about maybe about $1 million in the bank. And now that I'm keeping Diaz for sure, and I'm getting rid of KDB, that would end up, I'd have 3 Liverpool players, 2 Chelsea and 2 Man City. And now I'm actually thinking now's the right time over the next month to bring in Ederson as my goalkeeper. And I think Man City can start really getting a lot of clean sheets. And I think now's the right time to bring in Ederson because he's almost the most locked in of the premium goalies as he plays no matter what. There is a chance that sometimes Mendy might get rested, whereas I think Ederson will play every single game. So, but in saying that, obviously the 3 teams are that good and they're vying for the Premier League title that you wouldn't imagine too much rest goes on. But yeah, in short, that would mean I'm tripling up on Man City defense. So I'd have Cancelo, Diaz, and Ederson. So especially this week versus West Ham, I'm really hoping Man City get a clean sheet. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. That could all change tomorrow morning with injuries. And I'm on bench. I'm actually going to bench Antonio. So going through my team, if I go through those transfers, my team will end up Ederson, Rudiger, Diaz, Trent, Cancelo, James, Salah as captain, Mane, Gallagher, and Bomo, who I think will score versus Everton. I'm going to have Huang up front by himself, and on my bench I'll have Antonio, who obviously has a tough fixture versus City, Broha, and Sissoko, my man, on my bench. So I'm pretty happy with my team going into this week. The big difference into, I guess, most managers, I don't have any Tottenham. So that's the big risk that I don't have any of those players. Hence why I want them to blank. But, other than that, I'm pretty happy with how my team structures up for this week.
Did you say Salah and Mane will be away for a few weeks? Is that what you said?
So I said that last week. So there's an African conference or a competition on this. I think they might leave it around Boxing Day, and I think they'll be away for a couple of weeks, and they'll miss literally a few game weeks. So the likes of the big ones are obviously Salah, Mane, Mendy, obviously for Chelsea goalkeeper. So there's going to be several players who are obviously come from Africa going away for that competition. So that's just everyone already. They've been talking about it for weeks with Salah, and now if I get Mane, obviously that'll make sure I'll be preparing my team for that change of situation late in December.
Yeah, very good. I'll be captaining Salah as well this week. Not going to go too rogue compared to other weeks, which has let me down, especially just because they've got the good fixture against Southampton at home. Your team looks good, Clinton. Hopefully you can continue to climb up the rankings there. Yes.
I'll be backing the hardest for a Man City clean sheet. That's what if I go through those transfers, that'll skyrocket me up the rankings.
Yeah, if Liverpool and Man City have massive games like we predict, that should help you with a few differentials there. We did post on Twitter again, Clinton. So I've got the new Twitter page, MINYIP_FSC. We did post for a few questions this week, but hasn't come through yet. So we'll maybe next. We've got a very busy schedule coming up with Big Bash Supercoach starting next week. So we'll be recording a show for that, and we've got a midweek match next week, Clinton. So we're going to be very busy recording shows. So we'll be posting questions on the Twitter, and we're posting a lot of content on the social media platforms. So make sure you follow us on those pages so you can stay involved and get involved in the Big Bash Supercoach for the upcoming season in our league. So hopefully we'll go well with that. And also check out Patreon, our Patreon page as well. So it's MINYIP Fantasy Sports Community. We'll be posting a bit of content on there for the Big Bash as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get involved in the community. Got anything further to add, Clinton, before we wrap up?
Not really, mate. I'm looking forward to Big Bash starting, and I think, just one more thing about Arsenal. Obviously, they were disappointing last week as a young team, but I think they'll bounce back this week. And I was looking at the table actually yesterday, and what's amazing is so Arsenal are still currently in fifth. Obviously, there's been 12 game weeks. How many goals has Arsenal scored, Blake? Do you know?
I'm currently looking at the table, but I'll guess they've conceded.
No, how many goals have they scored? Let me give you a hint. So Liverpool are in third. They're third on the table. They've scored 35 goals. Arsenal are fifth. How many goals have Arsenal scored?
15.
Not a bad guess, 13. So Liverpool are only 2 spots above Arsenal, but they've almost scored 3 times as many goals. So I think that's an example as to why Liverpool players you want to bring in, and that's just the difference between the top 3 teams. And West Ham are in fourth, and it's going to be a really tight battle to see who ends up in that 4th spot. So as I said, but I'm looking forward to seeing Arsenal play and hopefully responding after last week.
Yeah, I'm well aware of Arsenal's scoring prowess after what Aubameyang did to me 2 game weeks ago, Clinton. So you don't have to remind me of that. So that's good. Hopefully Spurs can have a big win this week, Clinton, and Son can get involved in those goals as well.
We'll one more for you.
We'll keep going back and forth with Spurs and Arsenal.
No. I'm deflecting from that. In terms of goals conceded, it's been 12 games. Chelsea have only been scored against 4 times, and Man City 6 times. So in terms of defense, I'll be pretty excited to have the fact that I'm going to have 5 of my 6 available options in terms of goalkeeper and 5 defenders. I'm going to have 5 players between Man City and Chelsea, then Trent on top of that. So, I'm setting myself up hopefully to score well with how the season's shaping up and how dominant those 3 teams are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did have 5 from the top 3 sides, but Chilwell going down wrecked that a bit. All right, Clinton, that will do us for our FPL Game Week 13 preview show. So we'll see you next week for a busy schedule.
Good stuff, Blake.